She came to the police station just to do some cleaning, but she immediately noticed something wrong with the investigation. She threw away her lollipop and began thinking through the case. She realized the police had mistaken the victim for the murderer. She crossed out the suspect's label on the board and wrote the word victim instead. To her, it was just a small favor, nothing worth being thanked for. The next day, Chief Dake was furious. Thankfully, the station had security footage. Her supervisor, Anna, sternly warned her that interfering with the case could land her in jail. Ella said she had only corrected a mistake. How could that be considered interference? Anna told her to explain her reasoning. The victim was the husband, so the police had fallen into the trap of assuming the wife was the killer. That was their first mistake. The pillows at the victim's home were neatly arranged. The decorations on the shelves were symmetrical and dust-free, all signs that the homeowner had a strong sense of cleanliness. But in the living room, one side of the curtain wasn't pulled properly, and one of the curtain cords was missing. It had clearly been taken and used for something else. There were traces of hair and adhesive on the chair legs, indicating someone had been tied to the chair, with their hands bound behind them using the missing curtain cord. Since there were no marks on the victim's hands or feet, that meant he wasn't the one who had been tied up. His wife was, which meant there had to be a third person at the scene. Ella's deduction that the wife was the real victim was airtight. Even Dake couldn't find any flaws. Just then, an officer brought in new evidence. A woman had indeed been to the victim's home. Ella's reasoning was correct, but because she broke the rules, she still had to be detained. The case would need to be reopened. The next day, after signing a confidentiality agreement, Ella was preparing to leave. But at Anna's urging, she decided to stay and help with the case. After joining the task force, the first thing she did was critique Dake's analysis. She said not a single thing he'd said was right. Later, they went to the victim's sister's home to investigate. After glancing at the bookshelf and papers on the table, Ella immediately grew suspicious of the woman. She asked whether the woman had an alibi at the time of the crime. Dake was furious. He was the cop. Ella was just a consultant. The two got into an argument, and Ella stormed out. Later, she tracked Dake down in the restroom. It turned out she had just disguised herself as a cleaning lady and infiltrated the woman's workplace. There, she found a letter in the drawer, proving the woman had a financial dispute with the victim. Once again, Dake was completely stunned.